Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Jerry. And we are the Military Collectibles Shop. Pretty good. We haven't done one of these in a while, so our apologies to you because we've been busy. Stuff's been going on, but we still keep getting stuff in the shop. We've been doing some cool renovations in the shop, so it's starting to look a lot better. But, you know, we're still getting a lot of stuff, and we're still working on it. So, but we wanted to share some of the stuff that we got recently with you. So what we thought we'd do is kind of break this one into two different videos. So this first video, we're going to mainly talk about the US stuff that we got in, and then in a similar but different video, we're going to go over some of the German and other foreign stuff we got in. So if you're one of those German collectors, you may turn this off now. We'll wait.
Okay.
But for those of you who like the green side of things, and let's just face it, the winners, you know, we're happy to share some of the cool US stuff that we got in. So, Mark.
All right, let's start with, let's see, we got a belt for a saw. These are spent 223 rounds in a belt. You know,
those are cool. I used to have a belt of those back in my heavy metal days. Was actually taken away from me by the security guard on the Metallica Ride the Lightning tour. We got a bunch of stuff from the estate of a Marine Corps guy, so you're going to see a lot of Marine Corps stuff. Nice guy. Unfortunately, you know, he passed recently. He came into the shop a couple times. He loved the shop, but he lived on his own and he loved the Corps. So everything in his house was Marine Corps, military related. Very cool, but a lot of different stuff. So
got a pair of jungle boots.
Probably his. He served in the Nam. Got an early Sergeant something stripe, 1800s-ish Marine Corps. Kind of neat. He had this hanging on the wall. Very cool.
We got a plaque from the 2nd Battalion of the 9th Marines. Hell in a helmet, Vietnam, 3rd Marine Division.
That was cool.
It's a really nicely made plaque, too.
And the funny thing, because Mark and I were both going through the house, the family had invited us in, and everything again was hanging on the walls and everything. And we had both looked at this plaque. We both passed on the plaque, and then later on I came back to it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool." So I took it off, and then literally 2 minutes later, Mark's like, "Hey, where's that plaque that was on the wall?" So I already put it in the pile. So, one of the things I was excited about, but unfortunately upon getting it, not as excited, Marine Corps helmet, but unfortunately the cover is a reproduction, a decent reproduction. It's a real helmet, and actually it's an airborne liner, and a Vietnam era helmet, but a reproduction frog skin cover. Would look good for a reenactor, but as they say, the devil's in the details. Doesn't have the proper seam stitching. It's actually a much heavier weight canvas. The printing pattern is actually kind of wrong, but still, it's a nice helmet. And the cover, like I said, we can actually one of our reenactors will love.
We got a model Jeep, which is pretty nice, detailed Jeep. Looks on, you know, if you can't afford to have one parked in your garage, you can have one sitting in your coffee table.
This was, I don't know, some type of something that he must have ripped out of a ship or something. Some type of heavy duty, either Navy or Marine Corps outlet.
And the box is brass, so it's,
yeah,
like pretty Navy.
I don't know, kind of cool. Type G, 31A, grounded. Whatever. If it's military, apparently we buy it.
And we got some fatigues. The Marine Corps, oops,
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's almost like it spans, like we have the early HBTs, the herringbone twill, and then there's kind of an intermediate one, which I hadn't really seen before. This one or that one?
I think this is the intermediate.
Yeah, that's where it's like, it's herringbone twill, but it's got the pockets, and then we see like the cotton one with the pockets. So I don't know how long that one existed. I don't remember having that one before. But kind of neat, again, all from one guy, that served. Also his Marine Corps hat with the officer style EGA on it, and a MRE. We're not that show that they open these up and eat them. That's not us.
We got his officer's, oops, oh, it's much later now.
Right.
His officer's sword with a dedication and his name engraved in the saw, in the blade.
That's cool. The Marmaduke style sword. Not to be confused with Marmaduke. He had a bunch of knives hanging around. So being Marine Corps, he had one of the more modern K-bars, but a K-bar, World War II Navy Mark II by Camillus. This is kind of interesting. This is a model Mark III Model O Navy dive knife. Nice little knife. Kind of a rare knife.
I think they also say that the SEALs use those. The Navy SEALs, not the...
Or. Not those kind of seals?
No.
The SeaWorld seals.
Okay.
And then he had another, probably a World War II K-bar. I can't make out the maker. But on a plaque. Again, he had knives and stuff, pictures, flags hanging everywhere in his house. Kind of like what all of our houses would look like if we didn't have wives that would throw us out if we did that.
Let's see, we seem to have a U.S. Air Force type of...
It's actually an Australian machete. Kind of neat that it's marked USAF, World War II.
It's interesting.
Part of the survival kit.
I'll give you that.
Got in a flag, unrelated to the Marine Corps guy. Big heavy flag from the Veterans Administration.
Woohoo!
So that's kind of neat. Chain stitched embroidery, heavy rayon, designed to be flying. I believe it's dated 1976. So just in time for the bicentennial.
Excellent.
I remember the bicentennial.
What's that long tubey thing?
Well, you hold this part. Some people call it a bazooka. It's actually a super bazooka. It's almost in 3D. Whoa. Do you feel it coming at you? Hey, Ron. Meh. Okay. All right. So this is the Super Bazooka. Came out post World War II when they realized the regular bazooka was completely ineffective against German tanks. So this fires a 3.5 inch rocket. That's 3.5 inches for those of you who don't do metric. It's an aluminum tube. It's been deactivated. So for all the federales out there watching, it's got the requisite hole drilled in the tube, and it's got a bar welded into the back. So we cannot load around into it and make it fire. It does come apart, and it's got a sighting apparatus right there.
They got it closed. They can't see through.
Oh, there's a little window. There you go. Mark, stand over there. Yeah. But these are really cool. I mean, come on, it's a freaking bazooka.
We do have a rocket for it, but
To provide the red glare.
it used to be painted blue. It is a dummy round.
But it's still a bazooka, which is cool and a round. And actually, I found while I was working in the back, I found we actually have a box for those particular rounds. So it's going to be a group.
A super group.
Super group. Yeah, so that was nice to get the bazooka. This was again from the Marine Corps guy. This is a Viet Cong flag that he had framed on the wall.
Yeah, I don't know what that's for.
Yeah. Kind of old Brewers game. So that was kind of neat. We had a service flag. For those of you who are living under a rock, I wrote the book on service flags, still available. I just got a new shipment of books in, so if you want an autographed copy, let me know. But the U.S. service flag, Blue Star, Gold Star flags. Marine Corps unit guidon. This one's unitless, so I suppose it's just a Marine Corps guidon.
Oh, and you're... Okay, we got a couple of Civil War Navy boarding cutlasses.
Cutlasses? Yeah, point north. If your sword points north, you must be facing east. Yeah, so these were actually still in use up through World War II. They still had these on ships. Nice.
In case the U-boat guys wanted to board your vessel, you'd be able to fight them off with...
Yar! But these are made by Ames Manufacturing Company. One is dated 1861. The other one is dated 1860-something. We can't quite make out the maker. But still, anytime we find Civil War related pieces, it's a win in our book. So that's cool. Not a sword we normally see anyhow. Nope. Pick that up as we keep dropping it. I got a World War I pullover shirt. These are surprisingly rare. For those of you who are into uniforms, these are tougher shirts to find. This one's in really nice condition, so I was kind of excited when this came into the shop.
And you got this survival machete. Wasn't this issued with like lifeboats?
It could be. Yeah, the Air Force one folding machete with the...
You got this in, what,
blade
salt
keeper?
And pepper shaker and the fillet knife.
Right.
And you got a coin to toss.
You get the fish, I'll eat them. Right.
Or the straws to draw. All right, we got a M18 red smoke grenade. Empty.
No. Oh, I mean, yes. There's inert and there's nert. This is nert, but it's perfectly legal. It's just a smoke device. It would burn a hole in your hand. But reenactors love these because it makes the reenactment oh so smoky. Of course, now all they need to do is vape and it leaves a cloud of stuff anyways. Purple is the rare color of these, but red is also sought after.
Purple haze.
Purple haze, right.
Then we have a 1942-43 U.S. canteen.
Always, I love finding field gear. Never get too much field gear. It's always good. Got another piece of trench art. This one is kind of cool. It was Company E, 59th P, which we think is Pioneer, AEF, Allied Expeditionary Forces. But what really got me on this one is the, wait for it, it's got the service flag on the, the service flag hammered into it. And again, being a big collector of service flags, and since I wrote the book on service flags, I had to have this piece for my own collection.
And we have a parachute flare that gets launched off of a grenade launcher off of a rifle.
Funk.
We'll bring in the rest of the stuff.
Sure. We weren't real prepared for class tonight. Got in a bunch of patches. I've already actually started bagging them for inventory, but just a real, it's kind of a random smattering collection of some new, some old, some borrowed, some blue, various Air Force, aviation related, Navy, just a bunch of, there was like one either Korean or Vietnamese made something in here, A-10 Warthogs, just kind of spanned a whole bunch of eras, some different patches, then a bunch of World War II ones, the World War II divisional patches. You know, just always like to get those. A lot of times people are looking for specific units, either for a family member, or to complete a uniform or a grouping, or they're looking for variants. There's still a lot of interesting World War II patch variants around, greenbacks, other ones. Yeah, a bunch of patches.
You got a couple of cartridge belts in. This one's 42 dated, and this one I couldn't see the date in, but this is World War I. It's a Mills belt. You know, it's
sometimes these are marked inside the first flappy thing. Didn't want to unfurl it.
Yeah.
1919.
Oh.
Actually, kind of rare because the war ended in 1918. So, you know, they probably had mountains of these things. So why they still produce it in 1919? I don't know. But that's still cool. You know, let's face it, when you're reenacting, no one's going to look inside your little pocket. If they do, they're too close. Oh, the patches. The other patches.
These big patches here. Yes. We got these from the, guess what? These came from the Marine Corps guy. And these are almost all World War II original Marine Corps patches, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so some neat ones in there, nicely framed. I think we're going to sell these as a group, you know, framed group, because it's just a nice thing. It's from the guy. There's one or two that are more modern issue. The second division one, the first pattern, second division, actually has the marrowed edge, where it's kind of the woven edge. But and I'm sure the Iceland detachment's a reproduction too.
And you can see that he just used screws through here to attach it to his walls because
sure
he wasn't married.
He wasn't married, so that's what you get to do, apparently. All right, so I mean, we did get a bunch of other stuff. We got more fatigues. We bought a bunch of BDUs, ACUs, DCUs, all the camouflage uniforms. We do sell a bunch of them. We sold a bunch tonight, and we've actually also provided the Ukrainians with a bunch of camo gear, unless it's a violation of the state.
Then.
Laws. Then we didn't. But we got some British stuff in. We got some more swords and just bunches of stuff. So the good news is we got brand new cases that we're putting in the store, and we're getting those set up. So we're going to be able to have a lot more stuff out on display in the actual store, which will be very cool. Which will mean more stuff on the website. So be sure to visit the website. You can find it at www.militarycollectorshq.com, or if you can't remember that, militarycollectibleshop.com, or if you can't do that, just Google Military Collectible Shop, and you'll find us. We love hearing from all of you. It's always great to hear. A bunch of you have been calling recently. A lot of you email. A lot of you put comments in. We love hearing. We try to respond as much as we can. So we'll be doing more of these as the winter season hits now here. This might be our last nice day out here for a while. It
was 71 here in Milwaukee, you know, for being in November, it's pretty warm. At least in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, so that was good. It was a beautiful week. So hopefully you'll be seeing more of us. We'll be hearing more from you. Keep the questions coming. We love answering questions. We will be doing a couple more shows. I'm compiling some of the questions, so we'll kind of do a show on some of the questions that we've been asked, because I think it will help a lot of collectors to learn some of the stuff that certain people have asked. If you have any questions, feel free to forward that to us. We'll try to address those. I don't know. Anything else?
I guess that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. Until next time, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Mark.
And we are the Military Collectibles Shop.
Have a good evening.
Stay safe, everybody. See you soon. Alright, so today is one of those fun days at the Military Collectibles Shop. We're getting some new cases. These are going to be awesome. They're lighted, they're lockable. It actually gives us more square footage of space, but they're ginormous and they're heavy as so we've recruited some of our friends, basically Rick and Sherry, to help with the move. And we thought we'd shine the light over in this area to see the emptiness before we fill it in with more stuff. So the actual the idea behind all this was to allow me to get to be able to fill to get these cases, so we could open up some display cases, so I'd be able to use some of the display cases for my own collection. Unfortunately, because of Sherry's mathematical prowess, she was able to determine where each of these other cases will fit. So we've actually moved some of the ones that were here down. This one goes here, that one goes there. When it's all said and done, I get 0 cases for my collection. But honestly, these new ones are going to look awesome in the store. So I got to get back, because there's still 3 more that need to be unloaded from the truck. Look at the truck. So we've still got 3 more that are coming. Here's Rick. He's ready to help.
Sucks.
He's loving it. This sucks means I'm having a whole lot of fun. That's what that means. All right, we'll check back in soon. So right now we're halfway through the shop reorganization, redecoration, recasifying. So it's in the worst state that it's been since we've moved in. Now we actually have areas that are completely blocked by cases, but we're working on that.